Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's late here, and I have school tomorrow, but I want to get this video done. I have to do until tomorrow morning at like 20 to 7, so I'm gonna go quickly. So I'm gonna talk about substance abuse in the house and the prey. More on the drugs than alcohol because we don't see it often in the hospital. We do see alcohol quite a bit because that was very common in those days, whereas drugs weren't as common. Now drugs, we do see it quite a few times, not a lot, but some, especially in the episode Soldier's Home, which I'm not gonna get into because I've only seen it like once, and it's not that good of an episode. Unlike the episode Home Again, I think it's called Part 1 and 2, where Charles and Albert return home because Charles believes that because Albert's getting in trouble with school and stuff, and he believes that once they're back, oh, that's not a bug, okay, I thought that was a bug. Once they're back in Walnut Grove, Albert may return to his old self. But Paul doesn't realize that Albert is actually dealing with substance abuse. And he's dealing with morphine, which was one of the really only accessible drugs in those days. Of course, we do deal with alcohol abuse, especially with Mr. Edwards and a few other characters, but we don't actually really see the after effects of it or what it does to your body until Home Again. And this isn't actually that bad of an episode. The first part is really just okay, we see what's going on with Albert, but Charles doesn't. Until Charles finally finds out what's going on, then he is trying to get Albert off of it. And of course, Albert is going through all the cases of withdrawing. He's finding he wants it. He keeps telling Pa, I need it, and he actually runs off from Pa trying to get it. But then Pa saves him. Doesn't really save him. He stops him, and he takes Albert away from a place that's very far away from town, which is Mr. Edwards' second cabin from when he moves back to Walnut Grove, and gets him off of morphine. Now, of course, this is a very, 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 very serious episode because Little House on the Prairie is very good at dealing with serious episodes, especially the Waltons, but this one is the most serious that we've seen for a main character. Because usually main characters aren't really dealing with substance abuse or alcohol abuse. They're usually just dealing with something else. But the fact that Albert is dealing with substance abuse is really hard to do. But then again, it's always people you don't really think it's going to happen to that happens to at times. Now, of course, in the case of the episode Soldiers Return, it actually makes sense that he was kind of addicted to morphine because one, I think he was injured, I'm not quite sure, and he's a soldier, and many soldiers do turn to those things because they just can't cope with what happened over there. So, but it still isn't right. But I can cope with it, but it's like they just can't cope with it, so they have to do it. Whereas Albert, his case was different. He was pressured into doing it. He's like, well, everyone's doing it, I might as well do it too, so I can be cool. But drugs don't make you cool. That's gonna be it for this video. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, stay tuned for the next video, which will be on Little House on the Prairie. I don't know. I'm gonna go to bed. Maybe something will come to me in my sleep. Okay, see you.